Hi, this is Richie with Gill, Denson Company, and today I'm answering the question, how do I lower my property taxes? So this is a question we get all the time. We're a property tax firm that specializes in reducing people's tax liability, and so it's an important topic to us that we work on daily. And so I'm just going to give you a quick summary of the ways you can reduce your property tax bill, regardless of whether you're a residential property owner, a commercial property owner, or if you have business personal property. So let's get started. If you are a residential property owner and it's a house you live in, the first thing you need to be aware of is to make sure you apply and get the homestead exemption. That is a very valuable exemption in the state of Texas over the years, and as laws have been passed, the value of that exemption has increased, and so you can save a significant amount of money by getting that homestead exemption. So that's very important. Other than that, if you're a disabled veteran, there's exemptions for you depending on your percent disability. If you're 65 or older, there's a set of exemptions that help you out there. And so understanding exemptions is very important to residential property owners and making sure the exemptions are applied to your property. In addition to that, protesting your taxes can be very effective for residential property owners. And so every year, the local appraisal district will assign a value to your property based on what they think it's worth. And oftentimes they use mass appraisal methods where they take a very limited set of data points and apply a mass formula and try to value, in some counties, over 100,000 pieces of land with these formulas and with these limited databases they have. And they come out with, a lot of times, a lot of erroneous values that are inaccurate or that have room for reduction. So protesting your taxes is another great avenue in addition to exemptions that you definitely want to explore. Talking about commercial property taxes next. So there's less exemptions for commercial properties in Texas. There is a current pilot program in place to limit the increase in assessed value for commercial properties in Texas to 20% year over year. This is a pilot program that's set to expire in a few years, but for the time being, as of 2023-24, this can significantly help if your property is under $5 million. But you got to remember, a 20% value limitation is not all that good. You know, historically, the real estate market over time, over decades, does not go up more than 20% per year, so that doesn't help a lot of properties. It may help if there's some kind of spontaneous large increase in that tax liability year over year that'll help protect you there. But for most commercial property owners, that value limitation honestly isn't of much value, unfortunately. So commercial property owners rely a lot more on protesting the value of their property. And when it comes to commercial properties, unlike residential, there's a lot more methods of appraisal that are used. And so depending on the type of commercial property, there can be a cost analysis done by the appraisal district, a sales analysis. There can also be an income approach taken by the appraisal district to value the property. And so there's a variety of different methods the appraisal district tries to use to value your property. But again, they're using mass methods that are often inaccurate. And so we go in with the protest process and dig into their calculations and how they came up with their number. And a lot of times they're missing substantial information about the property, about the local market, about the conditions that affect the value of the property. And so we go in there, and whether on it's an informal basis with the appraisal staff, or we go to what's called an appraisal review board, ARB board, or if we take it all the way to binding arbitration and litigation, there's various stages in the property tax protest process that we go through to make sure that your property is properly appraised. And so we're highly successful with this. In the past, we've been able to get reductions for about 8 out of 10 of our clients historically. And so it's definitely worth trying the protest process, especially when you bring in a team of experts to help you out with it. So last thing is for BPP, business personal property. The important thing there is making sure you file the the appropriate rendition in time to make sure you avoid the 10% penalty. Also, when you file the rendition, giving accurate data about the inventory for your BPP. That's all very important to ensure getting a fair value on your BPP, on your business personal property. And if there's not a fair value, say you didn't file a rendition, maybe you forgot, or whatever happened, the value they assigned to it is above the fair market value for that property, we can protest that as well and come up with a new valuation based on our approach and our experts' experience with that type of property and get a reduction on that as well. So to summarize, for residential, making sure you have all of the exemptions applied is very important, and then protesting every year is important to that as well. Commercial, there are some exemptions out there, including the new pilot program for the 20% appraisal cap, but then protesting is very important to commercial property owners because there's substantial room for errors, and so it gives us more room for reductions typically. In the business personal property, filing the rendition and then making sure the values for that business personal property assigned by the appraisal district are fair, and if not, protesting that. So no matter what type of property you have in the state of Texas, we can help you with reducing your property tax liability. What I would do is, if you are interested in learning more about our services, you can look through our website, answers a lot of the questions you may have. You can also give us a call or send us an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. You can just go straight on our website, and there's a form where you can get signed up for our service right online, and we'll be happy to take care of you and your property tax needs.